Pool School. Today I'm here to review some of the basic fundamentals of playing pool. Having the proper stroke mechanics, body alignment, and general understanding of the relationship between the balls and the table will be great building blocks in the future of your pool game. So let's get started. Parts of the pool cue are the tip, ferrule, shaft, joint rings, collar, forearm with inlays, the handle wrap, which is Irish linen, nylon, leather, or wood finish, a butt sleeve with inlays, butt and bumper. Approaching the table to make your shot, step to the side of the cue and then step into the shot. Grab your cue and then bend over, bridging onto the table, getting down to perform your shot. One good position would have your rear leg as a straight anchor and bent opposite leg to help you lean over the cue and get down over your shot. Here's another good shot of the foot placement to help you align properly and come down over the cue to perform your shot. Before you begin to shoot your cue ball, it's good to put a nice layer of chalk over your cue tip. A good way to do this is just to rub the cube of chalk over the tip of the cue stick. Just put a nice layer over the tip. You don't need to drill a hole through the chalk cube. When preparing to approach the table and address your shot, it's good to line your cue stick with the cue ball's path needed to perform the shot. Then use your foot placement to step around the cue stick and then bridge down over your cue, over the ball to perform your shot. Here is another view of approaching the table. There are a couple different ways you can hold your hand to bridge with the cue stick. This here is an open bridge, which can be performed simply by aligning your thumb with the top knuckle of your index finger and then letting the cue stick lay down over the bridge. You want to keep the cue as level as possible to perform truer shots. Here is how you can lay the open bridge onto the table. Just bring your thumb up to your top knuckle on your index finger and lay the cue over the cross. Your bridge height can be raised and lowered simply by opening and closing your fingers along the side of your palm of your hand. Here we see a closed bridge, which can be performed simply by aligning the knuckle of your thumb with the second knuckle on your middle finger, and then just bring your index finger tip over to your thumb to close the gap, and this will give you a little extra control when you're stroking through. This will help control, when needed, more precise placements. This bridge can be raised as well, bringing up on the tips of your fingers if you need higher English or to shoot over another ball, and can be raised and lowered simply by opening your fingers and closing into the palm. To bridge off of, one good way to position your hand is to lay it flat on the rail and lay your cue stick down alongside of it as level as possible. Then take your index finger and bring it over the top of the cue stick and use your thumb and middle finger as guides to help you maintain a nice straight stroking motion. Make sure you keep your level cue and stroke through your shot. Sometimes if you can't reach your shot, they have a bridge, which is many different varieties of the bridge heads. This one has a few different positions you can put the cue stick in to hold it. So the same idea is applied. You want to find your point you want to hit on your object ball with your cue ball. And then you keep that line and just get your bridge, lay your cue inside the bridge, and you want to keep the bridge as level as possible again. Good trick is to take the bridge and just take it and move it off to the side, and it'll kind of pinch on the front head of the shaft and give you a little more control when you're stroking through. Also, you don't really want to be holding on to it or doing any kind of funky stuff to try and stroke through. Best bet is just to take it, lay it down to its side, and just do your routine and stroke through. That's how you do it. Also, if there's another ball in your way, you can turn the bridge over on its side like this, and that'll give you a little extra height to get up over any balls that might be in your way. And you want to just kind of give a nice level, even stroke through, and just follow through. And that's how you do it. The bridge is a great tool to use when you have a shot you cannot reach comfortably. Many people are uncomfortable using the bridge, simply just they have not learned properly how to use it. The bridge is there for you to use, so you might as well get used to it. You want to lay the bridge on the table, then lay your cue stick in the bridge head. Do your routine and stroke through your shot. Same concept is applied if you need to shoot over a ball that is obstructing your shot. You can turn the bridge over on its side, and that'll leave you a position to get over an obstructing ball and give you your opportunity to stroke through and make your shot. When preparing to make a shot, you want to position yourself on the table over the cue with your rear hand loose, not too tight. You don't want to be too tight, it can hold up the cue on impact when you're stroking through. You just want to have a controlled grip on the rear butt of the cue. And keep the cue stick level as possible when you're stroking through. You want to stroke straight through and finish. Your stroking arm should have a 90-degree angle bisecting the floor, with the cue tip as close to the cue ball as possible so you can stroke through and finish. Here you can see how you can adjust your bridge to the height or location on the cue ball. Remember to keep the cue as level as possible when you're stroking through the ball. It'll help send the ball in a straighter direction. Here's a look at a closed bridge while addressing the cue ball. You want to make sure you get your cue tip right up to the cue ball as close as possible and stroke straight through with a level cue. Here are a few bridges I've seen people trying to shoot with. You can't shoot with control with your fingers all over the place. Get a nice controlled bridge so that you can stroke the cue stick straight through it. Good way to start getting used to the feel of a stroke. Just grab the balls, get up over the ball, align yourself over the cue with the shot, and make sure you stay down and stroke through. And you can just move the ball further and further away from your pocket that you're shooting it into. And just try to make sure you stay down and stroke through for your shots. This will really help you get the feel of what a proper stroke will feel like when you're performing it.